Good evening, everybody. Good evening, chat. Hi, how's it going? Hi. Welcome to Essentials. Welcome to the final qualifier match for the ETF2L 66 Spring 2024 season. I have unfortunately now, over the years that we've been in this new format, lost count of which number this would be in the old way. I think it might be 48, something like that. 47, almost got it. Wow, I almost got track of it. Anyway, it's the final bout of the Premiership Qualifiers. There's one more slot to be taken for Prem this coming season, and two more teams that want to have a shot at it and want to have a chance at getting in there, those being Alien Workshop and NANDEM. Before I get ahead of myself, though, hi, I'm Cerny, joined by JMax on the camera and my man Beater on the mic. How's it going, dude?
Going really good. I'm looking forward to this. It's basically a LAN rematch. These guys both went to the Poland LAN in Łódź, and they played each other extensively. So they should know each other, and it should be very interesting to see how it all turns out. I want to say, I actually don't even remember if NANDEM or Alien Workshop came out ahead in that head-to-head. I actually have to check up, but they were very evenly matched.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly tell you, but I'm going to take your word for it, because I was very busy that weekend, couldn't watch, but I'm sure it was a lot of fun, and they aim to recreate, they aim to provide, I'm assuming, although only one of them can make it to Prem. And I'm pretty sure Lucky would love to actually finally manage. He's been trying for a few seasons now, right? This isn't the first time we're seeing his team, Alien Workshop, in the qualifiers, so I wouldn't be surprised if they would finally be keen to actually get there. They've been working their asses off.
It would be really funny if Lucky doesn't make it into Prem, but I'm kind of torn. I really like Alien Workshop. They're a bunch of really nice guys. I kind of know more of them, but then on the other hand, you got Blank on the fellow Dane over here in NANDEM, and you got Phoenix as well. Absolutely love the dude. So I'm very very torn. I wish they could both go through, but that's the nature of qualifiers. And I gotta say, I have a really soft spot for the qualifiers. It's kind of like, obviously the playoffs in Prem are the most exciting part, but after that, I actually like the qualifiers the most. That's the part that gets me the most excited. The middle of the season isn't nearly as exciting as what we're about to watch, in my opinion.
I get you. Because in the middle of the season, you're always going to have some matchups that aren't necessarily evenly matched, right? You're going to have the best team go up against a middling team or even the worst team in Prem, and that's just a kind of a bye week or a bye match. It's not much going on, right? But these guys, I can assume just from looking at the players, this should be a pretty even match. This should be a pretty even matchup. This could go anybody's game, anybody's way, and it's going to be a tight battle for Prem next season. This is not necessarily maybe at the top, but I think there's going to be two groups. Like, looking at what we've got in Prem already and what could potentially still be an addition here, I think we're going to have two tight groups, right? We're going to have an upper and a lower type of dealio going on, and it's going to be hotly contended for those few spots, however much that may mean to the players. That's all I can do about it. If I had to even put a score on this, I got no idea. The maps today, I know we're playing Gully first. I think there's a Snakewater in there at the end. Oh, there they are. Perfect. Yeah, Gully first, then Process. Snake as a decider, if it does come to that point. So, yeah, I don't know. These are common maps. Everybody probably happy to play them. I don't know if the picks even matter that much.
I don't know. They never played Gully on land for some reason. It was really, really underplayed. I haven't figured out why yet. It's my favorite map. I don't understand why don't they love it. But it was the least played map at land, so I'm happy we actually get to see it. And so here's the fun thing, Tony. I feel really well informed about what we're about to see, and you have very little information. So
exactly,
I think you should start, and it will be really funny if you get it better than me.
All right. I'm gonna go map. I'm just gonna go to one map for now. Sure. I'm gonna say, looking at this, I'm gonna say Alien takes the first map here, Alien Workshop. But it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be like a 3-2, maybe even a 4-3. We might get a lot of rounds on the board potentially, because from what I remember, Alien Workshop, they like to play quite aggressively sometimes. So maybe it's gonna be a lot of rounds on the board, but they're also gonna drop a lot. Yeah, so like a 4-3 seems reasonable to me, at least, in some ways.
I'm really disappointed because I basically agree with you. That's very unfortunate. I was gonna say like Alien Workshop. I think they're gonna win 5-3. That was legitimately what I was gonna say. So yeah, we absolutely agree with this, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get maybe a fewer rounds than that. But I still think Alien Workshop are just slightly better. They definitely edged them out at land. I remember now. Like I'm pretty sure NANDEM finished last, or well, not NANDEM, but definitely, I remember Hugie finishing last. I'm pretty sure. So
just to throw shade, no shade.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like they have decided to ready up. They are no longer baiting us. We're actually going to be looking at some gameplay on this very first map of Gully Wash for the night. Both teams keen to get that final slot in Prem going and get themselves a shot at potentially taking home whatever it may be in Prem this season. For now, they got to get through each other on this first mid-fight on Gully Washes. Lots of aggression out of NANDEM early. Actually, they're going to get the first frag onto Koska. He's going to be the first to go down, and off the back of that, Aliens just immediately back out to their own second. They're not going to try to contest that any further. They're just going to try to hold off this onslaught from NANDEM players who are quite aggressive still. I mean, they have Blanken behind. He's up top on just the battlements, chilling, spamming. They got these guys in kind of a pincer here. They're so aggressive already. I mean, they have barely any pressure on choke, but so many people in Big Door just laying down a lot of damage. And also just landing stickies. Finally, Koska up again, trying to contest Blank here, but he's just gonna have to back up from that one. Sneaky maybe trying to clean that up now. Blank's still just chilling there, just being
looks like he's committed. He's gonna go in here.
Yeah, okay. You gotta respect the try. You gotta respect the attempt there. This is something you gotta try. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Looks like Alien stabilizing though, finally.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Phoenix run back and pick Sniper, or maybe even Blank go Sniper as well. I haven't seen him play much Sniper here, but why not? This is Gully Wash. You can pretty easily do it, and it's not that far to run. So let's just see if they actually do anything. Looks like the answer is no. No gimmicks, no nothing. They're just going to take it slow and try to play this out. While Piggy goes down really weak here, so he's going to be lucky to survive. But right now, it's just spamming Big Door. And actually, they're going to jump in a soldier behind lines again. This time it's going to be Errantry, and he actually has a scout with him as well. Yeah, it's a pretty committal move.
Quite the deep flank. Both classes, the entire flank basically behind, and well, I mean, as long as Alien have them in their sights, there's not too much they can do. But they're also being spread thin. Do find an Ayusti on the other side here as well, so it's only dwindling the advantages that Alien could have had.
Phoenix is in so deep.
Oh, Koska gets taken down as well. No soldiers for them now. There goes Sneaky. They finally trade out the Ubers, but obviously Lucky's is so much worse. He's just trying to get out of here alive as best he can. But Errantry cuts off Tabby. Oh no, it's such a disaster for them. Surely while Piggy can at least buy some time for his medic here, and he does. Lucky does escape, and Yusti's back in with a respawn. Does get a lot of damage, but no kills. While Piggy gets cleaned up, Yusti cleaned up as well here. And they're onto their last. Somehow, by miracle, Lucky managed to escape, but he's got less Uber now. He's got less players alive as well to, try and just hold this with for a while. And there's already a lot of pressure out of the side of NANDEM as well.
A bit too much there from Phoenix this time around. And they do have this Uber ad, so this might be a really annoying setback here, losing a scout. Probably would have been better off just taking it easy just for a little bit here. They're desperately trying to build up a sentry gun to have a pyro. They basically got the full Iron Man setup just being ready to be built here. And if they get the time to move the sentry forward so they can really push players around, this could actually be really nice. They're going to send Hugie into the water. Now the question is, can they go in time? And the answer is no. As Lucky has gotten his full Uber, but hey, they managed to take down the sentry gun. That will open it up for some additional suiciders in here. Errantry was looking for it, but yeah, Hugie went down. So he's not going to sacrifice his life as well here, along with Blank. So
yeah, it's going to slow things down a little bit, get a little bit of breathing room for Alien Workshop. Finally, for the first time in a few minutes, they actually get to just slow down ever so slightly, slow the pace down a little bit. They even got Sneaky checking for off classes. No such things for NANDEM yet. They are just sticking to their guns. They're sticking with what they know. And they're just going to be holding on to this lobby, waiting to see how they can prod themselves in here. Obviously given a lot of time for Wild Piggy to just put that sentry right back where it belongs. And, well, buy a lot of spam with it. Got a lot of air blasted rockets. It's finally level 3 as well, so that's going to be quite the sore spot for these NANDEM players for quite a while. They won't get much ground here until that sentry's dealt with, and Hugie trying to go into water, but Yusti's had that on a lockdown for a while as well. They just gotta back off again. They do find a lot of nice stickies actually. Luca just kind of getting those in there. All right, fair enough. Gets like the entire nest taken down. Archer obviously gets taken down as well, but Hugie's on the point. Nobody's finally. The entire team actually decides, let's get that guy off of there and clean him up as well. But there's so much more aggression coming in right off the bat. They
get the force out. Yeah.
Get the force out of Lucky.
This is such good pressure, and Kosuke has a banner. He's been building it for quite a while, but I'm not sure how much he's built. Can production whisper? 16. Oh, awesome. The best number possible to have on a banner. I mean, after 100%, arguably. But yeah, they're just going to have to go in here Unforgiven. They've actually given them a lot of time right now. And there's a very sneaky sentry in the corner. That's very unusual. This could really catch them out. So keep an eye on that as they are about to come in here with this Uber.
They do send it in, try to get as much ground as possible. Everybody on blue is just kind of in the corner up there, so if they can get some ground on the point, maybe. Phoenix just laying down the pain, bringing down the meat shots, but there's a heavy drop dropping down. The Uber's ready as well out of Lucky, just in time to clean up anything else that could try to bomb them here. Archer kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place, does get cleaned up as well. It's only Luca and his medic remaining, trying to make a run for it out of here, and they will escape just for the time being, meet up with Hugie, get back to second, but that is a failed last push.
Yeah, a bit too slow there. Lucky managing to get his Uber. They did a really good job of building, and no one really fed really aggressively. They sent the Uber scout into the water, but they didn't accomplish too much there. So not quite fast enough on that push. Maybe they just need to get into the groove here first. And, you know, that's one of those things they need to really optimize if they want to make it in Prem. Just play fast. Yes, Kosuga is still not died, I don't think.
No.
Okay,
never mind. All right.
Point. Wow.
I didn't really know what to follow there. I was like, yeah, this is probably like gonna be a bit of a weird push. No, never mind. They just go in. They just play the point. It turns out there's an objective. Everyone, in case you forgot, in TM Fortress 2 5CP, the objective is to capture the enemy last point. And unfortunately for Alien Workshop, they didn't defend it at all. They just kind of gave up on that. They got, all of them just got kited by the Uber, and there you go, it's 1-0 for NANDEM. Back to the next bit for the media. While Piggy goes down instantaneously. But does go down for his troubles. They don't find any frags. Finally, they're doing a lot of damage, but they only get Blanc. Huge, he gets cleaned up as well, I guess, but that's still 3 players for a Scout and a Soldier is not what you want to trade here on your mid if you're now left with a Scout and a demo.
In lobby.
Trying their hardest to take care of Phoenix, just barely managing. Archer is there though. He's ready, and he does trade with Sneaky. So they're not catching any breaks here inside of Alien Workshop.
Since when is Sneaky a frog? Just asking the important questions here.
I just noticed that. Yeah, that's new actually. I've just noticed that as well.
It used to be a cat, but like if you get kissed by... No, how is it with you kiss a frog, you become a princess? Did you get kissed by a princess and turn into a frog? How does this work?
We got cursed, if anything, got turned into a frog, but I don't know how this has happened. There must be some sneaky lore that I've missed here in the interim months. Either way, I'm sure we'll be all enlightened eventually. Hugie taking down Kosuke on the flank in the meantime. While Piggy also kind of just, you know, caught in behind a little bit with that. Hugie rotating into lobby, and the Ubers have been exchanged in the meantime. However, it's looking a lot better for NANDEM once more, because Lucky is only left with a single scout, while his other compatriot is caught behind enemy lines, trying his absolute damnedest to not get murdered, and not even really doing much in terms of that, just kind of waiting and getting chased down by a scout. And Hugie, hits the first shot, but doesn't follow up. He wins those. Unfortunately, now he's got to meet 3 other people, and yeah, there you go. So that's that taken care of, dealt with, and here we are, back again on the last point of Alien Workshop.
And looking very, very good here for NANDEM. They definitely look like the stronger team so far. Their mids are really good, and they're good at just seizing the advantage and pressuring second point, or just points in general, right? It's just the pressure right now that's getting to Alien Workshop. They just can't really handle it once. At some point, it seems they just end up collapsing, and you know they don't hold on to the point, or someone sneaks behind. Speaking of, Hugie is in the water with errantry as well. So Alien Workshop, they're gonna need to be careful. They have Yusti here up here on the rim, just watching it out for it.
Well, they didn't watch out for long enough. There's already a lot of cap time. Matter of fact, Archer and Hugie both trying to go for that point play, buying a lot of distraction, allowing Luca to take down that sentry just as easily. And they even lost Ayusti for their troubles. He's going to be in a long respawn queue. Matter of fact, as long as the attackers, so I guess it doesn't matter too much in the end. But still, they took care of the sentry. It's got to be rebuilt again. It's already level 2, though. And I suppose, in the end, it doesn't really matter that much. They're just kind of resetting a little bit here. They lost a bit too much with that point play. So, again, just waiting, biding their time. But they know that they can get away with it. They are up around at the end of the day, NANDEM. They can take their time a little bit. They can afford to slow the game down to the pace that they want to, and do as many attempts on this last point as they would like. And, well, it's been working okay for the time being. Sentry's still level 2 as well.
Yeah, they're just
Sneaky,
going to
very
stick
hesitant.
to the double water pressure. That demo man spamming from the door, soldier pressuring the shutter, and right now they're both very weak in water. Haven't been able to really get this through. There we go, nice clean up here from Yusti. Gonna take the edge off of the pressure here. And this is a good sign, I'd say, for Alien Workshop. They're dealing with the pressure a lot better right now, and this just means that now it's NANDEM's turn to really adjust here, to come up with something new. And looks like their answer is going to be maybe we just put Hugie on Sniper.
Interesting, yeah. They did look like Alien finally found their stride a little bit. They finally found their way into this, can deal with whatever NANDEM throws at them. So now's the time for a curveball. This is when you try to destroy their brain, you go for the mind games. You trade out a soldier for a scout on the flank. That's not really necessarily that big of a deal, but you do have your sniper, you have Hugie, and if he can get that angle that he wants, it's already going to be doing something. Unfortunately for him, he's getting spammed by rockets right now, so there's... Yeah, that shot, he's got to work for it. He's got to work for that headshot he wants. The Archer getting taken down
gets
as well.
the body shot. Never
Not
mind.
quite enough. Not quite enough. Gets gunned down by Sneaky, and we're back to square one for NANDEM. Matter of fact, this
Soldier's caught in lobby.
Ooh.
Gets out.
Manages to escape just about. There was I think there was like a couple of Alien players that are keen to almost push out before they got rung back in. They need like a little extra than that. Those couple of picks were not enough to give them the confidence to push out fully, which I respect. I respect them for pacing themselves, but they know they were keen there. They were trying. Maybe we could push our luck here. Back to loss it is for the time being. Another couple attempts out of NANDEM here maybe, but they gotta find something to bust this hold eventually, and they're not having a good time with it right now. Sentry's not gonna get taken down anytime soon. It's just bunkered up in there. A lot of spam from many different doors. Finally they take the sentry down, but at what cost? Everybody took so much ammo for it. Blanc tries to jump in, but just gets air blasted back out. At least he lives. Meanwhile, point push out of Archer, and now Hugie coming in as well, but again, neither of them can really commit to it too much. Blanc gets the force, finally, out of lucky.
Eventually, yeah, they just kept throwing their bodies in there, and eventually there's just a slight crack in the defense here of Alien Workshop, and they get the Uber Force out very comfortably as well. Unforgiven. He's in a good spot here to even take the Uber in now, and hopefully they've learned their lesson to not take their time. Lucky will build Uber really affectionately here if they don't pressure them out. Look at that, they're so bunched up. One crit sticky would kill literally everything. Luckily for them, they're not on crits, but they're on Uber. But still, here comes the Uber push, I assume.
Yeah, we'll see how well that goes for them. They're certainly shutting down a lot of ground already, but they're also not really... finally, they're finding a couple of frags. Uber players on the point. The Uber fades, Unforgiven just takes it off, but they're not getting any cap time. They didn't get anything done with it at all. Just it took the Uber off way too late. It's just a couple of scouts. Well, one scout and one demo, both with no health, and once more, Alien Workshop have held the point, and honestly, I don't think they even want to cap second at this point, because they can go straight back to mid if they wait another 10 seconds, not even 5 seconds.
Oh,
So,
yeah. They do have the Uber. I think they're happy to scrap it. Yeah. Okay, point maximizing strat there by Lucky as well. Pops the Uber just as time runs out. Well done. Important stuff. Yeah, I agree with this. I don't think you... I think you just take a mid-fight here. Even though your mid-fights have been kind of dog, you know, it's pretty easy to fix, because it's just been one guy getting picked off really, really quickly, and then the mid's basically over. So hopefully that's going to change now.
Yeah, maybe this time around they won't lose a scout or a soldier instantaneously. Well, Piggy going aggressive again immediately. Yusti and Kosuke both going for the high bomb here. Unfortunately, they only trade out for a soldier on the other side. Actually, a scout on the other side. Archer gets taken as well, but they lose Tavi. They lose Lucky as well. It's only the scouts left for Alien Workshop trying to scavenge whatever they can here. Salvage it in some way, but it's not going to happen. This is an even more disastrous mid than the last two that we've seen out of Alien Workshop here, and unfortunately for them, this could actually spell even more doom than before, because Not only did Unforgiven live, but they're also going to be very aggressive on this push on NANDEM. I can assume as much, at least.
Yeah, no one's even out there on second putting up any kind of resistance. They're just building up on last. Gonna take it slow. And Unforgiven, he can just walk in at his own pace and still have a giant Uber here to work with. They're gonna have about 50% ad when they pop in, I think. And, you know, this time, if they just get onto the point very, very quickly, pressure that out, get Tabby, he's in water. Demo Man can be kind of easy to get to if he's in water. But let's see how they do it. Oh, they're not doing it. They go on the rim.
Okay, they're just chilling on the rim. Nobody wants to commit to the point. They're too scared of all those stickies, and it turns out that the zoning stickies just kind of work. Yuji's there on the flank now, behind Tavi. Does do a little bit of damage, but doesn't get the kill. Ultimately, that's what matters, and they just didn't commit to the point play at all. They respected those stickies so much that nobody, even Uber, just wanted to hop on the point, maybe check down there, try to take care of the demo. Nah, they were just busy trying to spawn camp, and that is what bit them in the end. So here they are, trying to hold mid now as Alien Workshop finally maybe turned the game around in their favor for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I'm really shocked that they didn't send a single scout through with an Uber or something through the point, right? They just didn't do that at all. They were all just standing up on the rim. It was really funny to look at. But yeah, now we have like a pseudo mid fight again. And Aaron, he's gonna be behind. He's okay. I thought he was gonna back cap, but he's actually just gonna go for the huge bomb here. The joke, gonna get the Uber force out and taking down a player.
Oh,
look at that! That's a huge play from him.
Yeah, they even lose a couple players trying to get out. Sneaky gets cleaned up as well, so they are down 3 players. Can't hold second with that, no matter what you're going up against. Well, in this case, you're going up against 2 scouts in a demo, so that's a tough proposal indeed. By the way, I know I earlier said that the map picks don't necessarily matter. This was Alien Workshop's pick, by the way. They picked this map. They wanted to play Gully Wash, so maybe there's a reason we didn't see it at LAN. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe. I mean, they're pretty good at holding last. I'll give them that.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're practicing. They're just practicing their last hold, seeing how well they can make them work. Right now, they have to make another one work here. And for once, NANDEM with a lot of aggression onto the point. Phoenix and Unforgiven just charioting it. Now, that the Uber has faded, though, they didn't get much cap time at all. They got to deal with the onslaught of Alien Workshop players, even if they killed a couple of them. Trying to get on the point here. They do clean them up quite well, though, but the Uber is ready for Lucky.
It's a 4-on-2. Once this Uber runs out, I think they're about to get just bum rushed.
If they commit to it, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a tie one. Phoenix is keen to take it. So much cap time, and all it takes is Ayusti jumping off the point for but a split second, being a pixel outside of the range of the cap zone, and he cleans up that cap just like that.
Yeah,
that's 2-0.
Good pressure. Yeah, again, 2-0. Like they're just really working it out for them right now, NANDEM. So much pressure, and it just always seems to work out in the end. It's not pretty, doesn't work immediately, but eventually it does. And they're just gonna go jump up and drop down here, do a ton of damage from behind.
Ooh, Blank with a big bomb in as well. They take down Wildpig on that side, but unfortunately for them on the other side, they've also lost a couple of players. Sure, they find Lucky, so it's a bad mid for both teams here, because Unforgiven dying on the side of NANDEM certainly slows their game down a little bit. They still win the mid, unless Kosuke pulls out an absolute banger of a 3v1 here. No, that's not happening. I assumed as much. But at the very, very least, with that Unforgiven kill, they do salvage themselves a little bit of time for Alien Workshop here to have an opportunity to maybe even get back out at second. It's only a demo and a soldier, scout now coming into the area as well, but they're already there. The demo very low. Luca just managing to turn the corner before the majority of spam could hit him, and yeah, they can actually hold second here. Incredible.
Yeah, it might be the best mid yet for Alien Workshop, funny as that may sound, as they still lost it, but at least this time around, they're in a pretty decent position here on second point, just getting ready to hold that and maybe get some pressure out of there. Kazuki looked like he was trying to be sneaky, slide up on that little roof, that slanted roof. You can kind of hover up there if you get it right. And, you know, so you sit up there, then they walk through, and then you can drop down at the perfect time. But it's pretty unlikely that they were just going to walk through at this time. So I don't blame him for giving up on that idea.
Yeah, in an equal situation like this, you gotta bide your time. Looks like for NANDEM, that's gonna be rotating the main combo to Big Door. They've done this before. It worked well for them in the first round, so we'll see how it works again. The flank already in behind the lobby as well. Hugie and Archer putting a lot of pressure up there. Kosuke and Sneaky trying to meet them.
They're also in through choke already.
They rotated so quickly. I barely caught wind of that. Yeah, Luca left alone in big door, just holding his own, and well, they lose Phoenix, so that's bad. The flank now trying to just not get pincered here while they wait for their scout to come back and perhaps have another chance at it. That's 3 players though for Alien Workshop committed to just dealing with those 2 behind. I mean, obviously 1 to 3v2 here, but you're also committing so much of the team to it. And now that Phoenix is spawned, and you're losing Sneaky, man. Okay, you find Orange here, but QG is still being a bit of a nuisance here, still being a bit of a thorn. And the rest of the team for NANDEM is very keen to get through choke here. They do lose Phoenix again, and yeah, no, they don't follow up with anything else. Blank is in and meets up with his scout buddy in lobby, who actually decides to escape. Yeah. So they just traded those 2 out. It's your turn, Blank. Go at it. All right, you're dead.
Yeah, I really feel like you just baited him super hard. It was like, come into big door with me. Never mind, you're just a distraction, so I can get out. Either way. All right, Aaron, he's up on the roof again now. Look at it, slanted roof here, but Medic's being jumped, and it's actually going to end up being a drop there, Unforgiven. I feel like he switched to the arrows there, so he couldn't actually pop it. That's a big mistake. He's going to get taken down. Nice jump in there. And now, Unforgiven being down. It's going to be very difficult to push here for Alien Workshop just yet because they're missing both soldiers. You kind of want both soldiers to jump in here and create space when you're doing some sort of push here from Gollywash. You do start on the low ground, and if you just walk up through that lower corridor, you're just going to get spammed to all health. So having those soldiers to come in and can do a lot of work. It's actually going to jump into Demo Man for really deep, and Tabby will win the fight against Blank. And this has been like a bit of a runaround. There's a backcap threat going on, but USD will eventually end up cleaning up Aaron too.
Alright, they got it. They got it in the end. They're a bit unconventional, but they do frag 3. They do manage to pick up that mid. Unfortunately for them now, they're about 30% down on Unforgiven as well. So they got to keep up the pressure. Got to keep making sure that these NANDEM players do not get any ground play.
Oh,
nice little air shot. Nice little air shot onto USD. Phoenix cleans up the kill as well, and off the back of that, no more cap time be had for Alien Workshop. They got to back out to mid. They respect that Uber too much, and they know it's already in their side. There it is. Matter of fact, Phoenix is going to take the chariot straight into the enemy combo.
Cutting them off.
Yeah, is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough at all? Oh my god, Lucky. How are you escaping? You're leaving your entire team to die for you. And honestly, well, it actually kind of worked out. They did leave him alive. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's really important that he stays alive and gets his Uber and just holds on to this second point. You don't want to be in the situation where you're on last. I really prefer just using your Uber here to hold on to second and push them out, just because that way, when you get Ubered into with an Uber disad, then you will be, like, have a place to retreat to. And look at that, they actually don't even need to Uber out here. Lucky, he goes down kind of weak, he takes a bunch of damage, but keeps his nerve, doesn't pop it. Now they're going to have mid here with an Uber ad. It's not a very big Uber ad, but they could just keep on pushing if they wanted to. And if not, hey, this is going to be one of the first times that we see Alien Workshop here holding mid, being ready to see how they want to crack this nut on second.
They have about 7.5 minutes to do it twice, by the way. They are down 2 rounds, and time is ticking if they actually want to take home, well, Gollywash, and have a better chance of making it 2 maps instead of 3. Sneaky, being on the spy, living up to his name, perhaps may very well be the X factor they need here. He does.
Sneaky as a frog.
He does have everything in his sights. He's very much keen to get that medic stab, or just even settle for something a little bit, well, not as important, but still impactful. At some point, he does decloak, and Unforgiven immediately drops down. Okay, he gets Phoenix. He gets
might
Phoenix.
get the Demo Man. Demo's weak.
Good enough. Ooh, lots of gun damage, but not enough to take a look. It doesn't matter.
Goes down again.
Yes, he gets another drop onto for Unforgiven, using the absolute chaos created by his team pushing through big door and the spy distracting everybody to grab that medic frag and make this an easy little pop for Alien Workshop. Well, that being said, they did still lose 3 players, so
yes, they took it slow.
You know, yeah, they gotta take a little bit longer here to try and get into second, but if they're all healed up, if they manage to get a lot of ground quickly, deal with Blank up above, which they're doing slowly but surely, there you go. But unfortunately, heals are back for NANDEM as well. They lose Ayusti on their own side, and Wild Piggy, nah, it's crumbling already. It's crumbling already, and the Ubers are equal as well, so it's not like they got much out of it in the end.
Entry's in. Entry's in.
No, and he is in behind, but he's not picking the right targets. Fuchi is there as well, though. Gets cleaned up. And yeah, no, Sneaky had those on lock. Fair enough. No, nothing to worry about, actually.
Speaking of
good.
Sneaky, he ran in behind. Wants to get onto this soldier. Blank eventually going to get cleaned up, but he did win the fight. And it's actually kind of a funny situation where second point has been seeded. They're indoors. They've lost too many players, and they're just going to end up giving it up for free without popping the Uber out of them. Really interesting play there. Just enough pressure with the backstab here to just make them decide to go back here. I wonder, you know, maybe NANDEM, they're feeling the time pressure in a way where they feel like they can just keep on retreating and go back. But if you retreat too much and something goes wrong, well, then you just ceded a bunch of area for free, and now all of a sudden you're leaving space open to actually throw this lead.
Matter of fact, Sneaky has decided to pick up the rifle. He's sniping, I've just noticed, and he's already laid down some body shots. Unfortunately, he hasn't hit the one shot he wants to, and now they're aware of his existence, especially because he's using one of the loudest weapons in the game, in the ops, so...
Yes!
That's gonna... that actually... There's a bit of a downside, you could argue, to that weapon being so damn loud that if you do beef your shot, they'll immediately know much more quickly where you are, and that you exist.
Yeah, counterpoint, it looks cool.
It does look cool as hell, that is true. It's a fickle thing. It's the balance you gotta find. Is drip more important than function? Well, he does get a nice little shot onto Orange here, so I would assume the function is working just fine, even if they trade him out for a scout. And actually, wait, when did Lucky use? When did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. He was like pressuring in River. Did they want to go for something? They're gonna be pressuring the point here. Actually, they're doing a ton of damage. Look at that. They're actually gonna force out the Uber. Soldier in water is still pretty healthy. Okay, eventually he's going to get taken down here, but yeah, this turned around real quickly here with a really bad pop out of Lucky. Ended up with a ton of pressure on point. Like the stickies from Tabby just did such a good job of doing damage and warding people off the point that the point press up just became too much. Unforgiven actually had to pop here. So we're back to Lucky having an Uber ad, and this time around they're going to need to be quick on it. It's not a big ad, so they need to just be in position once he hits 100%. It looks like they're in a pretty good spot to do so. Oh, they need to be quicker, man. Need to be quicker.
Yeah, they gotta go real fast here. Unforgiven's gonna have it in a couple of seconds, just a few more. They do pop it in. They try to get Luca off that point immediately. They do. Now they gotta get the cap time going. Lucky take the Uber off of people. Never mind. Unforgiven has his own. Scatter like rats in the wind. Don't let any one of these players, especially that Heavy, who's very healthy, finally get taken down. It's only Blanket, Unforgiven, as well as Hugie trying to salvage this somehow versus 3 on the other side. Make it to Kosuke and his medic left alone. He does get the frag onto Unforgiven, salvaging that. Now Lucky just has to somehow escape, and he's already being chased.
Yeah, he just has to escape. There's a soldier on him.
Yeah, no big deal, really. Just hit the surf for your lifetime. All right, fine.
Yeah. That was very difficult, and unfortunately, he will end up dying pretty late here. Sneaky's going to be on Spy again. Eats a rocket. I don't even know if the soldier was recognized that. Okay, he is typing in chat, so I assume he did see it. Yeah, there's the cruel mistress that is playing Spy. Sometimes you just randomly get caught out by a random spam rocket. So again, time is just ticking down. Now it's really running out. They're not even going to have time to wait for the Uber here, I don't think. I think they just need to go for a big bust. I hope it works out.
And then also do another round afterwards where we pull it off once more, which is just gonna make things even more difficult. They do find a frag onto Orange here, though, so that's gonna open things up a little bit with lots of good positioning out of Alien here as well. They have so much control of the second point. They're just nailing down these soldiers with the scouts. It's only a couple of players left now with the scouts and the medic. Make that only the scouts. And they're trying to wreak havoc as best they can, these NANDEM scouts, but they're just not finding that frag onto Lucky. Yeah, it's working. It is actually working. It's only Hugie left in behind. I mean, he's gonna try to get into this last point as fast as he possibly can while the scouts cap it up, and there you go. Just like that, Aliens finally bring it back. Around on the board, they got 90 seconds to do it again.
Yeah, and that is doable. That is doable on Gollywatch, absolutely. Yeah. It's not easy, but it's doable. So, and you know, we just saw they can do this without using Uber. Unfortunately, they do have to win a mid fight, and I don't think they've won any so far. To just win a mid fight, that's all you have to do right now if you're NANDEM and you win this first map.
Well, that's what they want to see. It's what they want to see, and it's not looking good for Alien Workshop right now. So NANDEM are very happy with how this mid is going already. Only Ayusti and Lucky left alive, and well, only one of them is really in doing anything, and he got Katana to death. So, yeah, I don't think this one's happening, Alien Bros. I think we're going GG to the next map.
Yeah,
This one's not happening.
it is a short map. I mean, I love that they're going heavy. They need to hurry up. Why are they holding last? We're not playing bandy config, right? We're just gonna add a round.
Yeah, was there a change here, or I guess they've just given up. They're just like, let's just practice the last hold one last time, lads. Why not? Screw it.
Yeah, I don't get it. All right, I'm actually genuinely gonna be surprised if we don't get like a round extension.
Yeah, there's a good chance actually that NANDEM have another shot here. Just put another round on the board. Well, 5 seconds left. Viewers are still in play. Okay, it does look like the scoreline is going to be 2-1 at the very end here, but
Okay.
It's close. It was close. Not as many rounds as we predicted, but it was close nonetheless. And the other team won actually. Neither of us saw this one coming. Apparently.
Basically, we're idiots.
We don't know anything. We're stupid.
Yeah.
We suck at this.
Also, I just realized Yuji didn't play on this team at LAN. He played on another team. So
you're saying that's the problem, or?
Well, NANDEM isn't the team that I thought they were, basically, when I thought back of it.
Well, seems to be doing them favors, so.
Yeah, like Yuji was good at LAN. He was just on like the lowest placing team, I'm pretty sure.
So that's why you were giving him shade. I see.
Yeah.
Bro had incomplete information, that's why. He was not familiar with their game. Completely understandable. Anyway, that's Gully Wash for you. That was Alien Workshop's pick. As much or as little as that could possibly mean, considering that I think everybody likes Gully Wash, Process, and Snakewater, but you know.
Yeah.
My lord. I'm looking at the logs right now. Sneaky played 6 classes that match.
Those are rookie
or
numbers.
much rather, at least he got a frag on 6 different classes. That's
that's kind of impressive if we're being honest here. Yeah, the main stat that jumps out to me is the mid fights. It's just all red. It's NANDEM won every single one of them, and it wasn't that close. I think one of them were kind of close, but even then, it wasn't like super down to the wire either. So definitely something that they would have to touch up on. And also some of those last pushes were definitely lacking from both teams, to be fair. But yeah, I will say I really loved the pressure out of NANDEM. That seemed to work out pretty well for them overall, right? Like on second point, send 2 players behind and then bust choke. That whole thing just worked out really beautifully for them. That was really well played.
Just an unbelievable amount of damage. Just pain raining down out of Luca. Like, he was nuking. He was nuking a lot of those holds. I mean, obviously, a lot of the time was spent on Alien Workshop's last. But the amount of nukage he managed to get off, as soon as he can, like, sneak in a little angle to take down that Sentiness, he was doing so much damage. The soldiers could immediately follow up, get some cleanup kills. Like, on the other side, Tabby obviously still putting down a good performance, but in the Demoman matchup right now, he's quite outmatched, I would argue. Like, Luca was having a great match on Gully that map, at least. He was definitely the stronger Demoman of the two. So that could have definitely been a difference maker there. Beyond that, like, yeah, it's just you know, I feel like every other player on NANDEM having a little bit of an edge over their counterpart, except for Ayusti, who was trying his damnedest to carry his team to victory, but you can only do so much as a sole player.
Yeah, it is. You know, it is a team game after all. You can only do so much, and like, I wouldn't say there's like one thing you can really point at to say that's why they lost. It just seemed like I feel like Alien Workshop, there were definitely a couple of times where I felt like they should be faster. I want them to play faster. Right, like just go in there and get that tiny Urat you have. Just use that really properly.
Have more confidence, yeah.
Yes, but I will also say that also applies to NANDEM. So it's not like a unique thing. It just feels like, like both of these teams. Like, I can kind of see why they're in the qualifiers and why they're not directly in Prem, because they're just slightly slower than the top Prem teams, right?
They're just missing that little sixth sense you get where you're like, okay, now is like the perfect timing to push, the perfect timing to make use of whatever little advantage you have. That's something you'd only really get with time, as well as you gather more and more experience and all that, obviously. So I understand. It makes sense that both of these teams are still here. Also, it makes sense that Lucky is throwing because he loves Div 1 so much, evidently.
True. You know, I've been there where just not good enough for Prem, pretty too good for Div 1, basically, type of situation, right? I mean, you're never too good for Div 1, but you understand, right? You're like an elevator team where it kind of feels like you're right in that boundary between the two
we
divs.
need another division between Prem and Div 1. That's obviously the answer here. That's what we need. That would solve this entire issue.
Like JV Prem, like junior varsity Prem. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, like college football, exactly. Like we're just, we're having like all the prospects and stuff, just a little in between. You can only put just put 2 teams in there or something like that, and that's all you
Challenger
need.
League. Yeah. That's
exactly.
That is what TF2 needs. More leagues.
more splintering of the already
way too complicated division. Yeah.
and not necessarily extremely large player base that would support it. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, different map, different stories altogether. Process time plays very differently from Gully, but at the end of the day, I really don't know if talking about any of this necessarily matters anymore in the year 2024, when everybody who's playing this game has been playing for 12 plus years and should know how Process is played. I'm pretty sure this is like, if people think of a competitive TF2 map, this is at least one of the first 2 they mention.
Yeah. Okay, so I will mention here that at LAN, Blank did fast rollouts super often. Right? So, what we actually saw pretty often was that Alien Works, they would lose a guy very quickly and the mid was basically over, right? They can kind of feast on Blank and do the same thing to him, right? Where he's going to roll out fast and you just focus him super hard and get him. Just trust Tabby to just take him out. Easy peasy. Just out DM immediate.
Tabby just pre-fires a pipe perfectly towards red choke or like somewhere up high in the mid-air box and just like skybox and just hits him. Just just pre-fire it, just open your inner eye, Nostradamus this, and just, hit
You're
the
kind of joking,
of
but I have done this, like, whenever I play on high ping, this is what I do on Process. I just roll out fast, and then I just pre-fire pipes into the skybox where I know the fast promo is going to come. It works surprisingly often, but all right, let's see what they do. So it's Erentry that's going to be rolling out fast. Oh my god, he gets air shot.
Immediately air shot by Ayosti. Back to choke you go, back with your team, and better positioning for Alien at the start here. Now the soldiers are going to rotate around, ballerina their way around, and then they're starting to pick up some frags here. Most notably, no healing now for Alien Workshop, with Lucky getting taken down. 3 frags on the other side as well, though. Unforgiven is going to have to make sure that Phoenix and Lucas stay alive here, otherwise it's actually going to be a pretty tough situation for them. They do have the heals advantage. They just wait a little bit until everybody's healthy again, try to pressure out these remaining Alien Workshop players, and that they will do. But they did lose a lot of cap time. They did just lose a lot of time to that, and it's going to be enough for these remaining Alien players to get back to at least second and potentially even regress into mid, considering not even the point has been captured yet.
Roughly, they don't get their first mid-fight win there. At least let them cap the point. that would have been the gentleman thing to do.
Have it on the logs at the very least.
Yes. But nope, not yet. And actually, they're holding really far back here with Lucky.
They respect the Uber, I guess, but...
Yes.
I feel like you could have had like a soldier being a little cheeky, maybe get some extra spam and, put down a cheeky sticky trap somewhere, but they were so passive, they didn't want to risk anything. They're just going to accept this Uber on last and try to kite it as best they can. They didn't lose anybody. They have a heavy ready as well with Sneaky up in the panic room, just laying down pain now, and considering the impeccable kiting work they did on last, now they didn't really have to worry about Uber at all, and they can actually push right back out with both soldiers dead, even if they lose Ayasti on their own side. As long as they take care of this, scout pest on second, they should have an easy-ish time trying to get back onto second.
It was a tough situation there. If they go fast, they can't put pressure on the point, but if they go slower, then they might not have Uber add to really do anything here. As Uber is going to get popped here on Sneaky, they will take down Luca. That's a really nice pick here, as Phoenix, he was trying to snipe, gets taken down as well Blank's going to be the last person out, it seems, and he will escape. Actually, Hughie's going to be the last out. My bad. Yeah, but this Uber, it does end up getting them the midpoint here, but they don't get Unforgiven, who's going to have the Uber at. But yeah, as I was saying, that last push there, you know, they kind of had to choose between not being able to put pressure onto the point or not having a big Uber ad. And they chose to Uber ad, and they didn't quite manage to get enough players to make it work.
It's just too many things going on at once. Eventually, you are spread thin, and now they gotta try to find a way back into mid, which, well, the Uber comes out a little late for that. Unforgiven already dropping his scout, having to just contend with keeping the rest of his team alive in that IT choke point, and Alien the Workshop doing a pretty decent job holding right now, just shutting down whatever gets thrown at them. They do lose Kosuke in exchange for that scout pick, but, you know, I think overall that's a pretty decent thing to do, especially when you are now once more in the driver's seat with a much bigger Uber ad that, of course, NANDEM are going to respect as well, but they're slightly more aggressive on the second hold.
Lucky is kind of weak. He can't really be forward with his team right now, and actually Luca's going to get sneaky with the nice little sticky trap there on point. So overall, this is really nice. They've slowed them down a lot. You can still go in with this Uber ad, but it would be a scout down immediately, and there's not a big Uber ad either, so looks like they're going to be just content to sit here, wait to get another spawner. It could be a sniper. Looks like it's not going to be a sniper. Or is it? Yeah. You have some people staring at each other down there. It's the man treads. Looks like from Kazuki.
Interesting. In the meantime, you have Phoenix sniping on the defensive side here, seeing if you can just get a cheeky little peek into lobby or something like that, or maybe just catch somebody overextending. You know, the usual defensive sniper process type of stuff, and for the time being, I don't think they're necessarily aware of him just yet. I don't think they know that he's there, they haven't seen him yet, but they are...
Medic is just standing around this corner, right? Like, he's not going to get pushed by the sentry gun, so he's going to be on the med immediately. Oh, the dispenser armor works.
It works once more. It is a foolproof strategy, and the sentry is still there, shutting down Sneaky as well as he tries to cross the corner. So Alien Workshop back out to second, and potentially, yeah, they're gonna get any pressure here. They're actually just gonna bank on that Phoenix snipe. They're gonna open the door for him. Lucky, well aware, well out of the sideline as well. Not gonna be the target today, and well, Alien Workshop get another opportunity. Sneaky is back up, and he's actually gonna commit to the spy play. All right.
Okay. That's interesting. That's pretty unusual. It is one of these situations where it's kind of obvious, right? Like, you have a bunch of respawners, and now you're gonna go for spy. That's almost too obvious.
Phoenix checked as well, so they definitely know. Matter of fact, he switched to Pyro immediately. They know. So Sneaky has to work some goddamn magic here if he wants to make the spy play work. Yeah. And there's a lot of paranoid players.
Like just the sentry sap strat or something, right? You know, just settle for something much more, because you're not getting close to the medic. Like, look at
that's
this.
not happening at all.
No.
Sap gun, try to go for a little bit of coordinated play. That's exactly what he's trying to do. He took a second to find his sapper. Didn't quite know where it was, but you know what?
Oh,
it works.
It works
Because Kosuke jumps in and manages to kill for Unforgiven. So there you go. It works out.
Yeah, Sneaky's like, my pines. You're just staring at the sentry for the long time. It's actually maddening that you can be prem almost and not like have the sapper bind properly working, and it still works.
Maybe the slight delay was actually important, because that means he put the sapper down slightly later, and potentially Hughie trying to break it with his wrench would have had like an extra hit instead. And like maybe there's like a big strategy there. You know, you can always interpret everything. Anyway, there's the Uber out of Lucky trying to get his team into this last point. They do find nothing. They lose Tavi to the revenge crits, they lose ISD and a Wild Piggy as well to some blank rockets, and unfortunately for them, that push has been stunted immediately, as they are now back on mid. Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, so far it looks like neither team has won anything, as it is still 0-0. As there's going to be a big choke bust here. Blank's going to be the first guy in, buying a lot of space, and they just respect that enough. The rest of the team come bulldozing in here. Lucky is out, as he always is. There we go. They are actually still pretty aggressively pushing up top here. It looks like, yeah, they're just going to pop in Phoenix up here in rollout, and they're not going to get anything. Like, Lucky is just gone. He's going to come back in there.
I guess they were trying to bait out an exchange, perhaps. Lucky's obviously going to use Uber much later here, trying to just pressure these players off of second again, and they do trade out Sneaky for Luca, so just a scout for a demo. Pretty helpful already. You're gonna keep control of second as well. Now the Uber has faded, and you get to defend some more. Archer pays with his life to some spam. And Hugie gets chipped down by Wild Piggy as well. It's looking great if you're an Alien Workshop fan right now. They're finding kills one after another. Blank, matter of fact, might get caught here as well if he's not careful. Mid-air, mind you. Mid-air just denied, but still manages to escape regardless. IOST gets cleaned up, and they're gonna re-aggress mid here, trying to pressure these alien players a little bit. And they do find a frag onto Sneaky to open things up a little bit. Trade out Luca though. Postgame once more gets away with it. No demo for the sake of NANDEM. They've realized the danger of this Luca Enderman on the demo, man. And they are trying their best to deny him as much ground as possible.
Scouts in here, very deep.
No.
Ooh, Phoenix. I thought he was gonna just go all in here, unlucky to get him to pop, but I mean, he's not gonna be popping, he doesn't have it yet, but yeah, they want the force out here. Lucky, he's still hiding in spawn. There's a soldier in the bunker right now, and the pressure, again, we see it, it's so many eyes just being spread everywhere. You know, you're not even gonna have to be cross-eyed. You're gonna have to like split your eyes in 4 different directions here to get everything, and then take down Tabby. This is awesome. Now they can actually pressure the point if they want.
That's a huge opener without even having to use the Uber as well. Kosuke getting taken down as well as IAST. The players are falling. The pins are falling for Alien Workshop, and Lucky didn't even get to right-click before the point is capped off. That's 1-0 for NANDEM. They finally take control after almost 10 minutes, just under 9 on that first round. It's a bit of a hard-fought one, but they are in the lead once more. And Alien Workshop really have to start picking up the pace here if they want to have a chance at actually getting into Prem this season.
Pretty reminiscent of map 1 as well, with just the pressure getting to them eventually here on last. As Yusti is going to take quite a lot of damage here. Neither soldier from either team committing fully here, but right now, just scouts holding the high ground. Here comes the double sword in from Yusti and Kosuke, and they're not really getting a whole lot, but both teams, they've kind of switched sides right now, so they've rotated around. So now both teams, they are committed. You can kind of see that with Blank down, they should be retreating her net. What a height there from Luca Enderman.
Hey, they are scared. Lucky, he's so dangerously low for so long, just managing to evade what little damage he can. Wild Piggy, dangerously close to getting Unforgiven there as well to salvage the mid-fight, but once more, they lost the mid-fight for the side of Alien Workshop, and it looks like Archer wasn't quite done yet either, as he locks in that loss on the mid-fight by killing Lucky there. So, it doesn't get any better, bros. It does not get any better for them at this point. But, at the very least, maybe they have a chance of holding last. It's gonna be a tough one, but they might have a chance.
They were ahead. They had a pick on that mid, and Alien Works that they still can't win a mid-fight. It's kind of crazy. It just doesn't seem to be in the cards for them this match. So, Sneaky tries to get some sneaky snipes in there. So far, Unforgiven. He's just going to hide in the corner. Pretty good job by him, but they do need to speed up here. You can't just sit around forever and wait for respawners and proper bops. You have to go in at some point, otherwise you're just going to kind of piss your own Uber advantage away.
That's what they're doing. They're taking it in straight away. Sentry taken down immediately, as well as the engineer who was trying to maintain it as best he could. So that's already a pick in the favor of NANDEM, but they're not finding anything else. Lucky still trotting along to that Uber, but nobody protecting the point.
Oh
Finally,
my god, that was so close.
Barely.
Jump the point. Jump. Oh.
With a pixel left to go, one stray rocket is enough to take down Phoenix. So they do protect the point. They do even keep the Uber in play here as well. Didn't have to use it for the defense, but they got to get out to second unscathed. They got to make sure that they'd have exactly that happen. What just happened to Wild Piggy, unfortunately. And yeah, that just shut it down. Losing Wild Piggy to that sticky trap was all it took, and now they're back to last.
Yeah, that 2x cap time, so important. They're gonna jump in a soldier. Actually, 2 soldiers. Gonna get Lucky to pop.
That's the force right there. I respect Lucky for popping there, and they do find a bit of cleanup. I mean, they do get both soldiers, and they do get the demo as well. If they can deal with the rest of the players here, at least pressure them back.
Oh, they get the sniper as well. This is just kind of going poorly for NANDEM.
The force wasn't enough for NANDEM, evidently. They would have needed a little bit more, and now they have to try and hold mid against some very angry Alien Workshop players who will do their absolute damage to just get some ground here, which might be misguided. I mean, there's a lot of aggression against them, but they're persevering. They're just seeing what they can do. Big
Oh
bomb
my
out of-
god, what a bomb there
Oh.
from Blank and Choke. And then
Yeah,
the
and-
Uber comes in to clean up as well.
God.
That was a nuke.
I can't believe that only 2 players died in that. Honestly, I expected more carnage. The fact that it's only Tavi and Sneaky so far, I mean, the rest of these 2, Wild Piggy and ISD, both stuck in sewer as well. Absolutely guaranteed to die, the latter one. So it's only Kosuke and Lucky left trying to get out, and we're into a pause.
I love that you just have him perfectly surrounded here. Alright? Just 3 players getting to him. Soldier, Demo
Here's
Scout.
how ISD can still win. Stop the count. He can still win, okay?
Alright. Time to cope. Let's hear it, Cerny.
Look, okay, so all he has to do, I don't know how much he's got loaded. Oh, he's got 1. Okay, he's got 1 rocket loaded right now. And he's currently shot 1 as well. So this rocket that he's shot, it's going to direct Archer directly in the face. Matter of fact, it's going to hit him in the head so he craters somehow. Because that can happen sometimes. Hugie is obviously not going to be any threat to him right now. Luca, he's not going to hit the pipe. There's no shot. He's going to hit the wall behind him. So Ayusti then turns the corner as Hugie turns around, direct in the face. Boom, boom. He's going to have 2 rockets because he's going to reload. Easy peasy. He's going to turn around. Luca isn't going to be able to take the pack from him, so he's going to be able to get back to... Okay, I'm starting to lose the thread a little bit here, but he can definitely still win, definitely. He's going to turn this around, and that's why the pause happened. The pause is actually out of the side of NANDEM, because they were just like, what the hell just happened, guys? How did this one guy 3v1 us?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think that rocket that he's fired, that's going to bounce Aaron out of it, and then he's going to do the headshot onto the Scout, because Scouts can actually crater instantly, right? So that's what's going to happen. Obviously, Luca is going to miss everything. He takes the med kit, and then he just two rockets Luca, and then eventually Aaron gets in there, but it's all too late, and he's just going to 2-shot him as well, or he's going to get some help from outside. So those are all just facts as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, let's not assume the obvious fact here that Alien Workshop lost the surround, and then either maybe because somebody crashed or because they wanted attack pause, decided, hey guys, what the hell's going wrong? Why are we getting our asses kicked? And go for a little bit of a breather. That's definitely not what's happening. No, I believe in
No,
that.
I've been
win
huffing
this
the
round
spice.
somehow.
I can see the future. This
Exactly.
Is definite. Yeah.
They definitely have the ability to do things here. Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a pretty bad situation. It's going to be pretty awkward because Lucky's going to have the Uberad, and he's not going to really be able to push out into second with it, I don't think, because it's not a big enough Uberad that you can really do that, and also they're not going to have enough players. But it's going to end up being a pretty awkward situation where they just end up sitting on last and looking sad. And it's one of those really annoying situations. And Process is a map where sometimes when you have an Uberad on last, on Godly last, you can go for banners and you can be kind of aggressive in lobby and you can build your banners that way, right? If that makes sense, do it on Granary as well, where you just kind of push forward a little bit and you just get a bunch of spam in with your soldiers, and then you can kind of use your Uberad to build banners a little bit faster than you normally would. But you can't really do that on Process. It's pretty hard to spam people on Spire.
Yeah, what I'm more interested in is this pause is actually quite long. I actually starting to believe that this is definitely attack pause, and they're talking strats right now. Because how long could your internet possibly cut out for, right?
I feel the exact opposite. Surely attack pause is going to just last a small minute, and then this has been too long to be attack pause. So I'm just
You see, Lucky has wheeled out the whiteboard. He's opened up a video conference.
Oh my god, Yusti killed them all!
Oh my god, he did it! No way!
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Congratulations. Anyway, yeah, we're back into action. I mean, it's obviously pretty obvious that NANDEM are gonna have a great time trying to push this last year. Even with Lucky having that big fat ad, he just has no players. They got no position. They've already lost a bit of cap time here as well. Respawners do come in. They do have the sneaky heavy as well. But all it takes is for Unforgiven to get up on his own Uber as well, and the exchange is gonna be looking mighty tempting. That being said, they did lose a couple of players, so perhaps, just perhaps, Alien Workshop hang on to it for the time being, but there's no shot they can push out with this.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because they're pushing out with this, as they are just not respecting this Uber here. And yeah, it is going to be an Uber exchange, and they actually do manage to take down Blank here as well, but the positioning is looking really nice right now for NANDEM here, as everyone's just jumping out. Actually, they take down Unforgiven really quickly here, so this is a great start for them.
Lots of damage on the Alien Workshop's combo there. I'm surprised that only a couple players have died
Phoenix
so
going for the
far.
back cap. It's going to pull 2 players back.
Yeah, he's pulling the entire combo back, matter of fact. He gets 1 frag already as well, Sneaky taken down. He's still jumping about. He gets out as well. And it's only Tavi and Lucky left trying their damnedest to somehow hold on to this point. Tavi trades himself out, and Lucky was in spawn, or killed, or something like that. So there you go. It's a round for NANDEM, as we predicted. Just not as quickly as we thought. And this is where the pause happened, so... It was paused by...
Okay, so it was Luke Enderman had to take a shit, so that's why it took so long. That's funny.
Bro, that is very unfortunate. That must have been a desperate one.
Oh, Tavi survives. Okay, at least for a while there. Blank, he did the fast rollout that I was talking about in the pregame. And he is actually going to end up trading with the Demo Man, so that's a great result right now here for NANDEM. Let's see if they can finish the job.
Well, we'll see how well that goes for them right now. It certainly is looking like this might be a 1 mid for once for Alien Workshop. Look at that.
What? They trade their soldier for the Demo Man, and then that's the mid they lose? That's crazy.
Yeah. Apparently that's what it took for some reason. They work in mysterious ways, okay? They would be simply not comprehensible to a simpleton mind like us. Either way, Alien Workshop has won a mid. Can rejoice, Alien fans. They have won a mid, and they're holding on for the time being. That being said, there's an Uber forced into them, and they do find Tavi with it, which is basically all they could have ever wished for with that solo scout Uber in. Hugie probably even gonna get out with his life just as well, and now they've got no demo spam denying these players out of NANDEM. Sneaky's in behind, but he's gonna be met with a scout himself, and Luca is just laying down the pain on the enemies here. As Unforgiven is doing such a good job just keeping his team alive here as well, man. Nobody's died yet. Hugie just wins the fight on the flank, and nobody on Alien Workshop can really try to focus any damage here or win anything. They're just struggling to find the damage cleanup. Like, they find a lot of damage.
I don't think Hugie got the memo, though. Hugie's out of position here. Taking so much spam here until finally he's in with Errantry as well. So, yeah, NANDEM, they went in aggressively here, but it took so long to actually do it. Okay, they are actually eventually going to take this mid. Just the pressure is too much. Once again, the respect being shown here out of Alien Workshop quite a lot. But yeah, I was kind of getting nervous there for NANDEM because Hugie, he was kind of ready to go in, and then he ran back. Then he ran all the way back, and then when he was completely out of position, they went back in again in joke. So a bit of a miscommunication there that they didn't get punished for. And Justi's actually going to get taken down here. Andrew is on the flank, and I think once again they're just pressuring them so much and just stretching them out by flanking them here. It's going to be very uncomfortable for them.
Early Uber here out of Lucky, seeing if maybe Sneaky can catch a cheeky, a fadeaway, a scattergun shot, but nope, it's just going to bait out the exchange. It's going to fade slightly later for Phoenix as he just bodies himself into Lucky. Doesn't quite get the cleanup, but Blank is there to do so. And even if they trade out everybody else for it, at least they got Lucky. At least they got the medic. So even if they won't be able to complete the second cap, you know, they got something to slow down these Alien players. Even when they're winning, they're still on the back foot.
Yeah, indeed. As Andrea, he's gonna be hanging out here in the sewers. What's he gonna see? Nothing. Much.
He just doesn't want to do anything here. I don't blame him. This is
he
a
got the
scary
rest
thing.
of the team with him now, so now he's actually gonna make his move.
All right. But he's gonna have to fight for it anyway, because all of Alien Workshop also happens to be here. We're back onto another mid-fight, effectively. And it's looking great for Alien Workshop. Oof. Holy, what happened?
That was a crunch and a half here, Cerny. They just got banged up against the wall and just absolutely ravaged. That was crazy. Just everyone were taking so much damage. Like a soldier jumped in and he took down the medic, but I kind of feel like he also did 300 damage to everyone else. So everyone's dead. They're actually going to pressure in here before Uber, even though they have a massive Uber. This could be one of those things they regret, or maybe it's going to work out really well for them here. Yudi is sniping. Oh my god. Lucky takes a snipe. Maybe he wants to get out of there. I think they want to get out of there.
He respects it. Waits for the Uber. Tavi's still caught in, though. Wild Piggy gets cleaned up as well, though. They gotta use it now. They've lost both of their scouts already. They have to try and make this work somehow.
As well.
Oh no, they can't get Phoenix. He's too tanky. Nobody focusing. The heavy, one by one, just feeding into the Putas. That's not gonna do anything for you. And just too indecisive on that one. There they go, back to second for the side of NANDEM. And while Piggy up on the sniper, at least for a second there, he was considering it, but opted against it, ultimately. Going back to the cookie cutter, they did at least find a frag onto the medic. So, you know, not all is lost, but they have a bit of a setback. And they have to work for it once more, and a lot harder this time, with the Ubers being as equal as they are. And the positioning being as good for NANDEM. That being said, they can find the first strike onto Fuji, clean up Archer as well, lose their own demo though, IOST as well, but find Unforgiven. All right.
Oh,
now
Lucky
they just
has
gotta
been
keep Lucky
corralled
alive.
into a scout. He's gonna barely manage to survive. He's so weak. Luca Enderman desperately trying to spam him down, but unable to find the final damage to really get the killing.
Oh, matter of fact, might just die himself if he's not careful. 9 HP. All that's separating him from a respawn queue, and he does get back to spawn in time, but nobody's there to protect the point now. Everybody's respawning or back getting healed, and there you go. Just a little bit of aggression onto the point very quickly is all it took. And Alien Workshop bring back around. They're not out of this yet. They got 10 more minutes as well to bring back the whole match, so maybe they finally unlocked.
Yeah, it's the same score as last time, except this time around they have twice the amount of time to work with. That makes a huge difference here. As it's gonna have a pretty fast rollout here for both soldiers on blue. Gonna just take the high ground initially, and then eventually gonna have to back off here as the counter pop comes in. What a bomb there from Aaron.
Beautifully done. That's Lucky taken down as well as Tavi. The entire core of the combo dismantled surgically, removed like a bad kidney. And well, Piggy's trying to do the same on the other side and does actually manage to get the frag. All right.
Clutch.
I was unfamiliar with your game. I evidently, bro does hit those. He does hit those pistol shots, and there you go, salvaging what could have been a horrendous round for his team. Instead now, it's actually looking like Alien Workshop have a good chance at recontesting mid here.
Yeah, they should just be able to get in here and just kind of pelt everyone down before Unforgiven gets there. Oh no! The double sticky trap kill there. They just ran into it from like the wrong angle even. That was funny. It was on the door, the shutter door there. So that, yeah, everything we just said, just forget about it. It's over. They're gonna have to go back and hold last here. Unforgiven. It's gonna take a while before he has to actually go in here. So it's not the worst situation ever, but it's still rough, especially given that they were getting ready to push into mid here and maybe equalize up this game.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of huffing of the copium here if you're Alien Workshop. Get that sentry set up, try to make sure it doesn't get spammed down, tank up that heavy in the panic room, and kite this Uber as best you can. Those are your only options. The sentry's already out of the equation. Piggy decided that one was even worth continuing to keep alive, and so much positioning has been gained before the Uber is even used for the side of NANDEM. They finally do use it, and they do not find any frags until this very moment. But for Alien Workshop, they have now kited it well enough. They do have a very tanked up heavy, taking a lot of spam, and they have an Uber ready now for Lucky as well to keep his team alive with. They just gotta clean up as much as they can, and they do clean up Luca, who happens to be one of the most important players on the enemy team. That being said, they're also losing to Hugie and Archer, just pressuring this point as best they can. Finally, the respawners are here, and yeah, there's no way Blank manages to make anything happen there either, so they hold this. They hold this just about, and probably get to second as well, because respawners are gonna take a little bit to arrive, and yeah, if they keep these players at bay, they should have a chance at retaking second here, Alien Workshop, and they do. They do manage to do so. Would you look at that? They stabilize.
Yeah, good job by them. Like, they were definitely still trying here on NANDEM to just push him out. Like, Luca, you can tell he doesn't want to leave. He still hasn't left, to be honest. And here comes the big skybomb jump in here. Unforgiven, who has to pop there. That was a good pop from him. I don't think he saw that soldier at all. He just got hit by like a fat 112 rocket and immediately just popped. And it was the correct decision there.
Very respectable. Gets them the second point, but Kosuke buying a lot of time for his team here, a lot of opportunities, because obviously Lucky has his own Uber ready to go, willing to use on the second perhaps. Ideally not, but they probably have to with how much aggression they're going up against. Sticky's cleared and Sneaky dead before the Uber even ever got used. So this is already going disastrously. There's no salvaging this one anymore. You gotta get back to last. Huge kills Kosuke as well. Oh no, you letting this guy get on a kill streak? He's on a 5 kill streak already? Oh no, it is falling apart. Please, my Alien Workshop, they are very sickly right now.
Yeah. Okay, Blank is going to get taken down, so that's a bit of a setback here, but they still have man advantage going into it. They still haven't popped, by the way. They're putting pressure on the point. Only now they got to pop here, and they should be able to take down Demo Man easily. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up and then putting people on the
Yeah. Koska, the only one left versus 6. That's a bit of a pipe dream, and there you go. They go up 3-1. 6 minutes left on the clock, so potential for Alien Smiley, not Alien Smiley, Alien Workshop. I keep getting that switched up. We need to stop having teams that have too similar of a name to a player name, even if the player isn't on the team. That makes it worse, if anything. Anyway, they got 6 minutes for 2 rounds. It's definitely possible, but they really got to pick up the pace here.
Yeah, also there used to be a team called Area 51, which is the tag for Alien Workshop, which has always annoyed me as well.
Doesn't get any better. The confusion continues. We're ravaged by it, and it looks like so are Alien Workshop as they lose the first 2 players on this mid-fight immediately. Lucky completely disconnected from most of his team as well. Tavi just barely managing to escape. Koska, the only player left behind somehow, trying to maybe be a bit of a sneaky one here.
They don't want to let Lucky out here alive.
And they won't. And they won't. Yeah, he's dead. He's mad, he's kill bound already. Tavi.
Ooh, Koska actually hits a nice rocket onto Yuji. Okay. That's gonna slow down mid.
Okay.
That's a small salvage here. It's gonna buy them some time. It's not gonna be like a great situation for them, but it's a lot better than nothing here.
It's better than nothing. If you're starving, any little bite will do, and that's a big bomb into the combo there as well. Unforgiven, nice surf, obviously to get out of there to clean up quick enough from the rest of his team, but that could have been dangerous. 1 extra rocket in the right direction, and that could have gone very differently for NANDEM. That being said, it didn't. We're only talking about hypotheticals, and hypotheticals don't matter when, in the end, they don't happen. So, NANDEM once more trying to push last, sneaky on the sniper. Maybe trying to catch something up, but it's an early pop. They cap second. Now they're ready to push this last point, or at least put some pressure on it as well. But they haven't really found much. I mean, they trade out a soldier for a soldier, sure. Now there's a heavy to deal with as well, though, and they gotta get positions. They do get positions in frags, but they gotta get a little bit more. They do find Lucky. No heals now for the side of the defenders. Only sneaking Tavi left, trying to salvage this somehow, and it's starting to be a war of attrition that they can't really win when they're lacking the heals, as Unforgiven hits arrow after arrow on his friends here as best he can. That being said, he actually did leave Luca to die, so maybe, just maybe, they hold this?
Yeah, they bought enough time there. Really good job. And just, unfortunately, Luca Enderman in one of the few situations where he just could not hit the last damage there coming out from him. That was unfortunate. Just a classic case of Demo Man reloading, right? And it's just very difficult in those fights. So they end up holding it just barely with the respawners there. And now they're gonna move on to second here. Alien Workshop, they need to get to this round pretty quickly here. And actually they're just gonna get Ubered on. And Lucky, is he even gonna get out?
No. Way too ambitious, my friend. Way too ambitious. That one's not gonna happen. And this is probably it. Phoenix is already on last. Nobody there to even. It's gonna be in a frag video at some point, probably.
Sure.
Keep your eyes peeled on the Wild Piggy YouTube channel. I'm sure it'll pop up there someday.
Yeah. Lucky's on crits.
Alright. Are we back? Perhaps we are back. Perhaps we are so back. We are indeed. Hello, chat. Yeah, you missed a fun little 3K with the shortstop. Don't worry about that. Nobody will ever know. It literally, like, you know, didn't happen. Except it did. So nobody knows.
We're on 90 crits. 90 crits here on Lucky. Looks like Tabby's about to get and just fire some stingies across. Oh, he fired the first one too early.
Oh well, this one will connect.
Oh,
yep, there you
he
go.
guessed the medic perfectly. What a snipe.
It doesn't matter if the first one's a sham, if the next one is the one that connects. Where is Lucky going? He's in no man's land. Somebody get my man out of there. Oh, just caught with the scout once more. And here we are. Garbage time is underway. Piggy's still rocking that shortstop, having a good time, trying to make the best of it, and getting murdered for it as well. So gamers are enjoying themselves, and that's it. We know who's getting the last Prem slot. It's gonna be NANDEM. So we get the NANDEM sister teams type dealio going on. Ain't that something?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see this Prem. I haven't looked into all the rosters yet, but yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Actually, where's 3.5 stars? You know,
yeah, I noticed that as well. They weren't on that list. They seem to be absent from it.
They lost last season of Prem. And then they went to LAN, got like third.
Good enough. Back into retirement for Raph, I guess. He's not having it anymore. Was nice enough for them, and that's all it took. But still, there you go. That's it. GG's, and good on NANDEM. Claiming that final Prem slot, making sure they lock that one in for themselves, and nobody else may ever take it from them for the rest of the season, lest they drop out of it because the team folds. I wouldn't ever put that evil upon anybody, but it's been a while actually since we've had a Prem season where a team folded. So don't let this be the first one in a year or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking through his Prem rosters, if I'm being honest. Okay, I guess we should look at some logs.
That's always a decent idea, I suppose. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Luke Anderman doing a crap ton of damage, as always. Phoenix being having like a 3-1 KD.
Is this guy gonna be the next hype demo up and coming that everybody's gonna keep their eyes on? There's always one of those every season. Every season's like this demo is gonna sweep. He's gonna fucking destroy everybody on Prem. I guess it's gonna be Luke Enderman this season. Keep your eyes peeled, everybody.
Yeah, he definitely could
No
be.
pressure.
He kind of reminds me of Sam's in a lot of ways, where like a ton of damage, but it doesn't seem to immediately translate to winning, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously good, but also obviously something still just missing to really take him into the stratosphere. But I'll be keeping an eye on him. He always does really well. I would say I think he also is one of those guys that usually takes a lot of heals, but I mean on this map he didn't. So what do I know?
Evidently, you don't know anything. Evidently. So, as far as that is concerned, numbers are always fun to look at, but in the end, Lucky is getting yet another season of Div 1 under his belt.
Oh, they won a mid fight. They won a mid fight, certainly.
True. They did. Oh my god! Congratulations! Yay!
Is that the one round they won as well?
It is actually. It is.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. It's so much easier to win when you win mid fights.
There you go.
I can't remember the stats, but it's like if you win a mid fight, you're like 70 or 80% likely to win that round or something. It's surprisingly high.
I get you. I haven't seen the stats myself, but it sounds very believable because from what I've seen over the years, from personal anecdotal experience, I can probably confirm that. Anyway, unless you want to have anything else to point out, I'm pretty sure the season just starts next week, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so games are going to be happening as soon as potentially even tomorrow. I don't think teams are going to be ultra keen maybe necessarily to start playing on Monday immediately, but it is possible that you're going to be seeing games on here of the upcoming Prem season, Spring 2024, as soon as tomorrow, if not definitely later this week, and probably at least 3 of them on Thursday.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 games on Thursday, as is tradition.
So, as is tradition, keep your eyes peeled for that. The socials are in chat as per usual. You can look at all those channels for anything of information that you could possibly ask and want for as well. And I believe that is just going to be it from us for tonight here, Peter.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. See you on Thursday.